Percival knows two hunters. The first is a resident of one of the 5 western states. He's never applied out of state. His reason is always some version of the same thing. Non-resident tags cost too much, and non-resident hunters can't draw anyway because the quota is so small. He's decided the non-resident game isn't worth playing without ever actually running the numbers to find out. The second is a non-resident who's been applying in 3 states for years. He picked those states because other hunters on forums said they were best. He has no clear picture of what his odds actually look like at his current point level. Both hunters are leaving opportunity on the table, and both are doing it for the same reason. They haven't run the non-resident calculus. They're operating on assumptions rather than math. Let's fix that. The first number most hunters think about is the non-resident tag fee. And yes, it's higher. That's real. But the tag fee is only one layer. Non-resident hunting license. Most states require one before you can even apply. Arizona, Utah, Nevada, Colorado all fall into this category. Wyoming is the exception. You can buy points without a license. Application fee. Some states refund it if you don't draw. Others don't. Point fee, Colorado charges annually. Starting in 2028, that fee increases. The non-resident tag premium when you do draw, significantly more than what a resident pays for the same hunt. And the draw floor reality. Non-resident hunters frequently need more points than residents to draw the same unit. None of this means the non-resident game isn't worth playing. It means you need to know what you're signing up for before you start the clock. Wyoming reserves roughly 90% of big game tags for residents, about 10% for non-residents. On popular units, that non-resident quota can mean just a handful of tags. But Wyoming's structure has 2 features that matter. The preference point system rewards persistence over time, and the 25% random draw after the preference pool. Every unsuccessful applicant gets an equal shot, regardless of point total. Wyoming also runs 2 parallel license pools, regular and special. The special license costs more but runs its own separate draw. On certain units, the special pool has historically been easier to draw for non-resident hunters. The non-resident verdict, tight quota, but the random pool and the special license add real pathways. Worth playing with realistic expectations. Utah's non-resident quota is roughly 10%, similar to Wyoming, but the draw structure for limited entry hunts is meaningfully more non-resident friendly. The 50-50 bonus point split applies equally to non-resident hunters. Half of all limited entry permits flow through a random draw open to all applicants, including non-resident hunters with 0 bonus points. A first-year non-resident applicant is in play on LE hunts in a way that simply doesn't exist in Colorado's current system. The non-resident verdict, one of the most non-resident friendly structures in this group. The random floor protects access from day 1. Apply every year on LE species and let both the random entries and the point accumulation work simultaneously. Colorado gives non-residents the best quota allocation of the 5 states, roughly 25% of tags. More tags available to non-resident hunters means the math starts from a better position before draw mechanics even enter the picture. The complication is the current system. Pure preference point draw through end of 2027. If your non-resident point total isn't close to the draw floor, you don't draw. No random floor for most hunts. The 2028 overhaul changes this substantially. The approved 50-50 split draw opens half the tags to a random pool accessible to all applicants, including non-resident hunters at 0 points. That structural change, combined with the 25% non-resident quota, makes the post-2028 non-resident math look significantly different. The non-resident verdict, best quota of the 5 states, but the most closed system until 2028. Build points now. Position yourself for both halves of the split draw when it arrives. Arizona caps non-resident hunters at roughly 10%. What makes it distinct is the 3-pass draw structure. Pass 1 is reserved for max bonus point holders only. Non-resident hunters at lower levels don't participate. Passes 2 and 3 are open to all remaining applicants, so a 0-point non-resident hunter is never shut out entirely. Arizona also offers 2 bonus point features that survive a successful draw: the Hunter Education Permanent Point and the Loyalty Point for consistent annual applicants. Both are available to non-resident hunters and carry forward after drawing. You're never truly starting from zero after a reset. The non-resident verdict, a patient builder's game on premium species. The HE and loyalty point retention are genuine non-resident advantages. Apply consistently and let the stack build. Nevada's draw is the most egalitarian of the 5 states for non-resident hunters. One fully random draw, no separate preference tiers, no reserved pools. Every applicant, resident and non-resident, competes in the same draw. Points multiply your entries via the squared formula. 3 points earns 10 entries, 5 points earns 26. So consistent applications pay off fast. But a first-year non-resident hunter with 0 points is in the same pool as everyone else on day 1. One rule matters above all others: miss 2 consecutive application years, and all your points for that species are wiped out. Apply every year without exception. The non-resident verdict, most accessible non-resident entry point of the 5 states. Same pool as residents. No draw floor to clear. The squared formula rewards consistency. Here's what Percival has noticed over the years, partner. The hunters who win the non-resident game aren't usually the ones chasing the most famous units in the most talked-about states. They're the ones who found the intersection between their specific situation, their point total, their timeline, their budget, their species priority, and the states where that situation actually pencils out. Then they got in early and stayed consistent. The resident hunter who never applies out of state because non-resident is too hard is often leaving genuine odds on the table in states like Nevada and Utah, where the draw structure keeps the door open regardless of residency. The non-resident hunter who picks states based on reputation without checking the draw floor at their point level is spending money on a plan that may not have a realistic endpoint. Running the non-resident calculus isn't complicated. It requires knowing your numbers, the quota, the draw floor, the annual cost, and what the state structure actually offers you at your current position. That's a data problem, and data problems have data solutions. At the Tag Prospector, our reports surface non-resident draw odds filtered to your species, your residency, your state, and your current point level. It's the difference between a strategy built on actual numbers and one built on what someone said on a hunting forum 2 years ago. $9.99. No subscription, no login. Straight to your inbox. Resident or non-resident. The numbers are the same starting point. Run the calculus, partner. Dig deep. Find your vein. TheTagProspector.com